Oh my gosh. So, welcome to Power Up with Power Coach Alishia. I was getting ready to go live for you to show you my piggy pie. Oh, she's getting pissed. She doesn't want to leave the room.
Come on, let's go. Come on, let's go.
Oh my god. If you did not get to see that, you will have to watch the replay. I do my power-ups in my room, in my like little work nook. But if I leave her in here, she will start to like jump up on the door, and then I gotta get up and I gotta go let her out, and it's just too much work. So watch the replay to see Lula Pig fighting, leaving the room. That was awesome. But before I went live, she was over here close to me, and Daniel had her get up. And then she realized Daniel was going to make her get out. So she laid on the ground on his feet. So that's why it was going live was like so fast, was to show you her like throwing a fit, laying on his feet because she didn't want to get out of the room. Oh my God, hilarious. Hi, Glenda, Tessa, Jenna, Latia. So when you watch the replay, you'll be able to see it. You'll be able to see her still throwing a fit, I promise. So I'm Power Coach Alishia, your source of fun, funny, exciting, entertaining, educational, and transformational speaking and life coaching with a twist of tough mama bear, no fluff, no hand holding, no bullshit love. I specialize in helping women step into their personal power, unleash their inner badass, and put themselves first without feeling guilty, unapologetically authentic. Today, we're going to talk about what's holding you back. So as I'm getting the watch party started, the messages sent, all of that good stuff, I want you to shout out in the comments what's holding you back right now. It could be today, it could be this week, but let's talk. And so this is going to be kind of like Ask Power Coach Alishia, but it's different, right? We're going to be focusing specifically on what's holding you back. Now, this could be holding you back in the area of exercise, eating better. It could be cleaning your house. It could be starting spring cleaning. It could be whatever, right? So don't think just in terms of business. If you do have a business, I want you to think in terms of overall. What is holding you back? So shout that out in the comments for me, and we are going to have a chat. Starting. Oh my God, she is so funny. Usually she's such a brat about being in here if somebody's in the kitchen because she thinks it's time for her to eat. So she just acts like a freaking psycho. And then it interrupts what I'm doing. So I'm like, just take her out now. And most of the time she gets out just fine. But this morning she won't be with her mamas. She doesn't want to be out there with all those other people. Yes, I baby talk for my pig. My pig says a lot of funny things. Hi, Des. Like, a lot of funny things. She is hilarious. My kids ask me, how come the pig can swear but we can't? And Daniel goes, really? This was a long time ago. I've been talking for that pig since the day we got her. So she has had a lot to say for 3.5 years. A lot. Okay. Getting ready to send the message, and we're going to get this show on the road. So right now, you guys are throwing down in the comments what's holding you back right now. We're going to not talk about business, but in any area of your life, what's holding you back right now? All right. Message is sent. Boom. Watch parties started. Let's see who else showed up here. Morgan's here. Hello, Morgan. I said hi to Des. All right. Boom. Message sent. Okay. Let's go back. See what you guys said. So start throwing down. Those of you that are live, what's holding you back right now? Now, remember, yesterday we talked about subconscious programming. And then Monday we talked about really just being like a victim and not wanting a solution, but dragging people around you down. I mean, that's the basis of it. So if you missed Monday, go watch Monday. It was so awesome. There's a little preachism in there for you. And then yesterday with the subconscious programming, I really felt like yesterday was awesome too, because it was just things that we don't think about. And today we're talking about what's holding you back, okay? Next week, is going to be a little more organized. I think going forward, we're going to have topics for the week. So next week, we're going to be talking about money mindset / management. Okay? Okay. All right. Hi, Candy. Let's see who else is here. Jennifer's in the house. Hello, hello, hello. Feel free to share this out too. Because remember, this is all life coaching, right? Marriage coaching too. Just depends on what day it is. Okay. So Latia says, I slacked off on my schedule and now I'm a mess, except my journaling and meditation. So you didn't slack off on the journaling and meditation, so how come you're a mess? And what do you mean? What else on your schedule did you slack off on? Was it working out? What other parts of it? Because journaling and meditation, so you journaled, you meditated and you trained. So what else was the most important to really set you up for success that you didn't do? Because those things are the most important, right? So I am interested to know what's going on there, because I think that is a great schedule and things that actually got done. Jenna says that she feels behind this week. So Jenna, talk to me about that. I know you were replying to Latia, but behind on what? Morgan says fear of failing. So we kind of talked about this, was it last Thursday? Hi, Terry. And I shared that, and I even had Daniel put together like a quote for me on a graphic, and it is my cover photo right now on Facebook. Hi, Dana. And that is, if you don't take action because you fear failing, you have failed anyways. If you don't take action because you fear failing, then you failed anyways. And I told you that on our Elite Live session, right? And I probably told you that on Marco Polo as well. So what I want you to do is realize at this moment that statement is something that, instead of it being something that is quote unquote true for you that you're growing through, I'm concerned that now it's a crutch for you, right? So be very, very, very careful. There is that fine line, and everybody who's watching needs to hear this, right? There's a fine line when something that affects you, like fear of failing, holds you back, stops you, slows you down. And there's that fine line between, okay, I have this fear of failing and I don't know what to do. And then you get taught what to do, you learn what to do, and you keep saying, I have a fear of failing. The very first Power Up with Power Coach Alishia we did was the story, right? The story that you constantly tell yourself. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Alva. And we talked about it being a negative story, right? Well, in this same instance, that I have a fear of failing, I have a fear of failing, I have a fear of failing is maybe not a story, but those are the things that's a phrase that you have on repeat. And so I love how you said, today I used the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 rule. I popped out of bed and pushed ahead, faced my fear, right? Because now it's about, now you're at that point where if you keep saying you fear failing and not taking action, it's just what you're doing to be a victim, right? And I guess that's our theme this week, right? Victim. Because if you know that you fail when you don't take action, and then you continue to not take action and say it's because you fear failing, then that's like contradictory, right? Because to not fail, all you have to do is do something. Now, I get the middle part of that, right? And that is, yeah, but that's the hardest part, is getting myself to take action. Yeah, but I don't know what action to take. Yeah, but the action is where I freeze. I get that. But I want you to remember that any action is better than no action. Any action is better than no action. Even if it's out of bed, still in your pajamas, journal, meditate, exercise, work all day, your vag is smelly, and you crash out in bed at night. That is not perfect action, right? That's not as best as that action could be. That's a way better action, though, than staying in bed all day, right? So I'm sure you guys thought that was funny. I like keep a straight face as I talk about smelly vages. So think about that, right? That's, again, that progress, not perfection. Hey, I got out of bed, I did it, I made it happen, sort of thing. Let's see. Hi, Anitra. Okay, so right now you're shouting out in the comments what's holding you back right now. So think about your life and where do you feel stuck? Where do you feel like you're held back? Where do you feel like you're just spinning, you know? Like a tornado that's just getting ready to fucking destroy everything. Let me scroll back. Okay. Tessa says space. We have lived in a small apartment for 7 years. I can't help you with space. I don't necessarily think that space can hold you back. I mean, how many fucking kids do you have again? 3 or 4? I would have lost my mind by now. You know, I have this saying. It's not really a saying. It's something that I do say, though. You know when you watch, like, oh, God, he's using that little scooper thing again, and he's just whipping that son of a bitch around everywhere. It stresses me out. They're building a house down the street from my house. And so, anyways, you watch these murder shows, right? And you hear about this mom who murders her kids, right? Or you hear about this on the news, right? A mom that's driving down the street in her minivan and she just whips the wheel over into a lake or a pond and, you know, drowns them all. And you think to yourself, oh my God, she must have been crazy. Oh my gosh, like, who would do that? I would never do that. Like, she must have been so nuts, right? And then when you hear the rest of the story, they talk about how this mom is like, she was normal. She took the kids back and forth to school. When you hear people giving character definitions, they're like, oh my God, she was such a good mom. She took great care of her kids, right? And, you know, the world or the person watching, depending on if it's the news or the show, they want to paint this mom out to be this monster, right? But truth be told, like, we all have or have had that potential to snap and be that mom who jerks her will off into the pond, right? Because it's not a certain type of mother that would do that. It is a moment in time where she felt like she had enough. It's a moment in time where she felt like she couldn't handle it. Would you guys all agree with that? It's a moment in time that instead of choosing to walk away and take a deep breath, right? She's like, fuck this, I can't ever do this again. And we've all been in those places except for in those moments, maybe we beat our kids' ass and didn't kill them. Or maybe we walked away, right? Maybe you were like me and destroyed the house instead of killing your children. You know, whatever it was. So in this situation, Tessa, I want you to be very careful, okay? And I know, and this is why I'm using this as an example. Not to say that you're a psycho or you're crazy. I'm not saying any of that because I believe most of these mothers who have done this are normal. Like, and when I say normal, I mean they just had a bad day. They actually, not even a day, a moment. Like, they hit the point where they could not handle it. So if you've lived in a small apartment for 7 years, I mean, I don't know if there's 3 bedrooms in the apartment or what, but if there's 3 bedrooms, then you have a bedroom and then your 3 kids are sharing the other 2, right? So there's really nowhere for anyone to go. There's no reprieve, that's what I call it, and there's no like quiet and reset time, especially now with the kids being at home. In this very moment, you only have one option, and that is to leave the kids at home, you know, somebody to watch them, obviously, and then like go to the park. So you could work from the park, you can journal at the park. I don't know if I would meditate at the park because I'm a really big freak about being accosted. I don't care if it's the middle of the fucking day, so I'm not going to meditate with my eyes closed. Actually, I used to down the street from my house now that I think about it. That's weird. But now when I think about it now, and I lived in Florida then, but when I think about it now, I'm like, I would never do that. But I just sit out by the pond. But I have really, really, really good ears, so that makes sense too. I would have heard anybody coming from a mile away, and I saved a turtle. Anyways, go out and if you feel comfortable, meditate at a park, right? Journal at a park. Take some time to have that reset. Go for a 15-minute walk to have that reset. Give yourself space where there is no space. I can't do anything about the small apartment, but I can help you learn what you can control, right? We did a whole training about circle of control as well, right here on, in the Power Up with Power Coach Alishia series. And that's within your circle of control. You can make space for yourself. Maybe you can have someone keep the kids and you can go work at the park for an hour. Right now it has to be the park. There is nowhere else you can go. I just found out today I will not be able to get my eyelashes done for a month because the health department shut down all salons. So I will not have eyelashes here soon. Probably in like a week and a half, which is fine. I'm still beautiful without them. I'm not one of those people that thinks, oh my God, without my eyelashes, I look so ugly. I don't care about that. I look tired, but I don't look ugly. And I'm not going to wake up and first thing in the morning put on mascara and then go fucking work out and then get in the shower and take off the mascara to put the mascara on again. No, we're not fucking doing that. We're not doing that. All right. So yes, I did recommend the book to Latia, so I'll recommend it to you. It's The Minimalist Way. I do not like the book. I'm just going to put that out there right now. The more I listen to it, the more she fucking annoys me. And she annoys me because a lot of things that she talks about are what Danielle Laporte talks about in the Desire Map, and so it annoys me. And I don't know if it's just because they haven't gotten further into the book, but now she's talking about like core values, which is the same as core desired feelings, and it annoys me. So whatever. I guess it's a good book. I have not been able to get past this 45 minutes of core value bullshit, but I know a lot of people love it. So I'm gonna recommend The Minimalist Way to you. Latia thinks that's hilarious. And maybe it won't bother you, but I am an avid Danielle Laporte fan, and I just feel like there's so much already in this book that is like parallel to Danielle Laporte's The Desire Map, and it, like I said, it annoys me. So I think it will help because you can clear out stuff, you can make space, you can change the energy, and I get that's exactly what Latia is talking about. So it definitely will be worth it. Let's see. I made a new plan with help from the academy to build a savings and move by July. I'm house hunting to help manifest it. Boom, boom, boom. What is that? March, April, May, June, July in 4 months? That's amazing. I love that. Now, I know that you are not in my Elite Biz program, but we did take my live that I did in the Direct Sellers Rock the other day. And we talked about, and this was last night, it was so badass, and how to move forward. Okay, Latia, thank you. It wasn't just me. We're mapping out the plan. So like the next, I don't know how many weeks inside of the Elite Biz program, we're talking about setting up the challenges and building the workshops. Remember, maybe 3/4 of the way through that training, you can find it in Direct Sellers Rock. Go listen to it. I talked to Shermanda about, and I think you heard it because you were like, oh yes, paparazzi, thank you for that example of, that personal stylist and that personal profile. And maybe you're not out shopping for clothes for them, but you can, create like a profile for them of their body shape and blah 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 blah, and then that comes with a fashion fix maybe, or whatever pieces of jewelry for like $97 to help increase, right? So it's a service in addition to the jewelry. So start putting together what that looks like and that plan to move that forward. Okay. I love that. That makes me so happy. All nail shops were closed in Virginia last week. Utah's behind, I guess. I don't know. I'm annoyed. Tessa says, yes, that's my biggest problem is I have no space. Boyfriend sleeps in bedroom all day to work at night. Ooh, I could not keep the house quiet all day. He'd just have to get over it. You better wear fucking earplugs. All right, let me go to some of the watch parties and see what everybody's saying. What's holding you back right now? What has you stuck? Shout it out in the comments so I can help you. See? So you guys don't understand, right? Like, I do my best not to make a joke of it, but I do bring it up quite often. Like, if my kids are being assholes, I'm like, you are the reason why mothers, like, literally drive off into the pond and drown their children. Now go away. right? Because it's true. Like, it's annoying. And I don't mean it like it's lighthearted. I mean it like that's why they do it, right? I know this looks jacked up, but this fucking bra scrapes my tattoo and it hurts. Well, actually, it doesn't actually hurt. It makes me feel like I want to scratch. And I can't do that. All right. Okay. So let me think of, I hear a lot of what's holding me back. Me, right? Listen, that answer is not an answer. So when you're thinking about this and you're taking, that time for self-reflection and, like, to grow. Oh, yeah, okay, I'll go back to that. I definitely still do the exercise daily, especially because I'm walking my dog. I'd stopped planning everything else, partly because I was taking too much time to plan my day, not taking action. Okay, so Latia, this comes into the Elite Life program, right? Over and over and over and over and over again. Now, we have this pattern of unfair expectations of yourself, right? So at some point, you have to remember that you do this, right? You are exercising, you are journaling, you're meditating, you're going through training, right? And yeah, you may just be starting to take action, and it may not be perfect action, and you may not, be moving forward at the light of speed. But right now, you're have been in this good harmonizing space with yourself. And then all of a sudden it's like, see, but you're not doing this, and you're not doing this, and you're not doing this, and you're not doing this. If you don't get control over that other part that constantly does that, you're never going to get anywhere. You have to fight those unfair expectations. Some days, this is for Jana too. Some days, some weeks, hi Mary, shit just isn't going to get done. And it's not going to get done at the speed that you want it to. And it's not going to get done right. And, all the things that you had planned aren't like this world. Your life, your days are not meant to be perfect, right? You're not always going to be on. You're not always going to get it all done, right? Everything is not always going to go the way that you want it to go. And when you move forward in life, expecting that specifically of yourself. Now, if it's of other people, that's a whole other fucking conversation. But for you two, especially of yourself, you're going to be miserable as fuck. And I won't be able to help you because you stay in this just brewing tornado, right? It could be a little one. And then the more that you give yourself grace and you realize it's going to be okay, right? Then the tornado maybe disappears and maybe it's just a little dust cloud, right? And then all of a sudden, one day, 1 week doesn't go the way you guys want it to. And that's a fucking huge tornado. And you're talking all this shit to yourself and see, you can't do it. And blah, 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 and then you spiral out of control. And then I've got to start all the way over with you and tell you all the same shit I already told you because you're not stepping up for yourself. So when I talk about stepping into personal power, right? You're getting tools to step right into that personal power. You should never be going back to the beginning to redo it all again. Stepping into your personal power is always going to be an action that you have to take. I say have to because I think if you don't, you die, right? So stepping forward into that personal power is something that is really, really, really important on a regular basis. And if you're not stepping into that power, or those things like, oh, you didn't do this, you didn't do that, boom, 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 you're going backwards, right? Almost like something is shoving you backwards. So if you're not stepping forward and up for yourself, then you're stepping back and something else is taking over. Be very, very, very mindful of that, right? You got to fight. And I know I'm kicking your ass right now, but it's true. You got to fight. And you got to remember to give yourself grace. Don't write these statements for yourself about how much you love this and how much you love that and what you're proud of. And then at the same breath, talk shit to yourself about everything you didn't do. You have to choose which lane you're going to be in, right? And I want you to pay attention to that. Pay attention. What lane are you going to be in? Are you going to be proud of yourself? Are you going to love these things about yourself? Or are you going to beat yourself up? You're ping-ponging back and forth, and that's a really bad place to be. I'd rather have you just talking shit to yourself all the time or loving and being proud of yourself. But the ping-pong shit is psychotic because you go back and forth from victim to survivor. Oh, victim would be over here. Victim to survivor to victim to survivor, victim to survivor, victim to survivor. It reminds me of an oil gauge in a car when the fucking car is about to overheat and lose its fucking mind, right? Be very careful with that. That's a really bad place to be in because inside you feel way unsettled. But you feel settled and unsettled and settled and unsettled and settled and unsettled and then boom, right? There's the pond again. I'm telling you, you can do it. It could be anything. So it might not be the pond. It could be that's when this person kills himself. You're like, holy shit, she was fine. She was happy. I had no idea. Well, if you're paying attention, there was an idea, right? You have to be careful because a lot of times those people live back and forth. Boom, 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 boom. I can't do this anymore. Done. Right? So, and it comes from living in that space for too long that they just feel like they can't control it. They feel like they can't do anything about it, right? So, there's my coaching for you. What was I going to talk about? There was something else that I wanted to say. But Latia, before I move on with that, does that make sense though? Does that help you? Like, yes, you need rest, but not too much, right? Because then that's borderline depression. I want you to pay attention. I want you to fight for yourself, right? And I want you eyes wide open. Pay attention. Everything. Like, just because you feel good doesn't mean you're good. Just because things are feeling good doesn't mean that you're ready to step out there and give this to everyone else, right? I really want you to focus on helping yourself and keeping yourself up. Remember, when you all, this isn't just for Latia, when you see me and I have a bad day, I pull myself through that like nobody's business. There isn't a coach that I call that pulls me through, right? There's not a live that I get on that's pulling me through. Now, don't misunderstand me. I love to listen to Mel Robbins a lot. I love her perspective. I am in a training program right now where I'm listening to training, but I have that power for me right now and for a long time that I know exactly what I need, right? Like we talked about it last Monday. Was it last Monday? Not a few days ago, but a week before. Yeah. And I needed to clear my schedule because I had a breakdown. If I have a breakdown right before my day starts, that means I'm depleted emotionally and physically, and I'm fucking tired. So this day isn't going to go any way I want it to. I really need to learn how to just make that decision ahead of time, but I haven't got to that point yet. So if I end up having a breakdown, I know the rest of my schedule needs to be cleared. If I don't clear the rest of my schedule, then it is going to turn into a fucking shit show. And that tornado is going to destruct everything in its path. I am getting a divorce. I am running away. Fuck everybody in the world. I'm quitting my business. I know what happens if I push past that mark, right? And so as you're growing, this again for everyone, Latia, as you're growing, you learn those things about yourself, and that is what gives you that power to infuse other people. But you have to be careful infusing other people because it takes away from you. And I think that's what I see you doing a lot of is you start to rise up into your power. Oh, I want to help somebody else. But you have to understand every single day that I'm on here, every day that I'm coaching, I was live like 5 times yesterday, I swear to God. I think it was only 3. Or maybe 2. 3? 2. It was 2 times yesterday. Monday was a shit show. I think I did 4 trainings on Monday. So just because I'm Power Coach Alishia doesn't mean that by the time all those trainings are done, I'm not depleted, right? But I've built this up so much that I know exactly what to do to reset myself and make that happen. Every day now, I start my day giving of myself to you guys, right? Showing up for you guys. If I wasn't as strong as I was, like mindset-wise and tool-wise, then the whole rest of my day would just get away from me, right? It would be running me. It would be controlling me. So remember that every action you take to help someone else, you're depleting your power. Every single action. Even if you are protecting yourself and emotions and all the things, you're depleting that. So at this very specific moment in time, you need to be very particular about what actions you're taking to help others because it's taking away from you and then it's causing issues over here. And again, I'm talking to Lydia, but I am talking to everyone. You might find that, oh my God, I was doing so good today and I don't know what happened. You gave too much of yourself. You gave too much. You went past that line. Candy says, working from home has been harder than I thought. I'm actually working more and need to get control over my schedule so I work out and have my own time to myself. 1000%. Right? People think like, oh my God, I would love to work from home. Be careful. Because when the UPS store fucking dude knocks on the door, and then the Amazon dude shows up, and then the mailbox person shows up because the shit doesn't fit in the mailbox, and that doorbell rings. My brother lives a 2-minute walk through the golf course. Oh, here comes my nephew. What are you doing? The kids are in and out of my room all day long. Husband brings lunch at this time. This happens. That's happened. Da 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 da. Blah blah. And like, oh my God, I'd love to work from home. No, the fuck you wouldn't. Because you spend more time getting yourself back on track and fucking working than you actually do doing the work, right? Like, oh, it would be so awesome. Like, I could do whatever. You can't really do whatever you want. Really, your day is controlled by a million interruptions. It's nuts. Sometimes I would really love to go to an office, but I think it's just idiotic to pay to go to an office. Yeah. Do you mean like the empath, right? Yeah, empathic. Yeah. I read empathetic. Yeah, the empathic. So yeah, that line, you don't have much to give, Latia. Your tank can be at 100%, right? And you can fill it, and then be at 0 just because you showed up live to give some advice. Like that. Because you're not ready. You're not protecting your power. You don't know how much power to give. You don't realize when you've given enough. You don't realize when you're actually taking from your reserves. All of these things are things you learn over time. And I almost feel like you're rushing yourself forward and building yourself up. Give yourself some grace. Give yourself some time. It will happen. It's going to be awesome. When it does, just slow it down. Yeah, working from home is not for the weak. What was I just talking about? Oh, working from home. So I do want to mention, like, I love the fact that my nephew just pops over. I love seeing his face. It makes me happy even when we're not in all of this. I love the fact that my kids come in and give me loves and they're not in public school and I can see them throughout the day. I'm so grateful that my husband brings me lunch, and my stacks. Like, it's not that to say that I'm not grateful for those things. Those are just me sharing with you what that looks like. And so there's a lot of time spent getting back on track. I do have my family trained pretty well that when I'm on a track, they're usually pretty good. A lot of times when I'm live and I'm doing stuff, they are in and out of where I am, bringing me my lunch, getting me more to drink, bringing me my breakfast shake, whatever it is. But you guys don't notice because they've learned how to operate when I'm live, right? So there is a way to train the people around you, but by the time you get everybody trained, you're going to be going back to work anyways. So Candy, I want to encourage you to sit down and create that schedule today. What does that look like? What do you need? And that schedule always starts with you. You have to be really careful with that too. Because a lot of times we think, oh my God, if we could just get the kitchen clean and get this done and get that done, then I'm going to have more time. So when you're sitting down and you're mapping things out, it's what fills your cup first. And although I love coaching, especially life coaching, although I love showing up for you and everyone else and it fills my cup, it also depletes my cup. Right? Like, I'm on cloud 9 when I get done with my elite life sessions. They're my favorite fucking thing to do in the world. I killed my elite biz session last night. It was so fucking badass. Once I am done with my series on building challenges and adding a service to your business with my elite clients, like, they're going to be killing it, right? So I love that. I love my Monday lives in the Rockstar Direct Sales group and the Wednesday lives and these daily lives here. But every one of those actions takes from me, even though it fills me up, right? So with that being said, I have to make sure that my schedule has me first in it. I can tell you that I was doing just fine getting up, doing these lives, then I would go work out, I would get ready, journal, meditate, start my day. But I've been in this training program for 9 fucking days that starts at 11 a.m. my time, and I haven't meditated or journaled once because it's an injection in my schedule that's fucking it all up. It's just this, oh, so why don't you do it after? Well, by the time it's done, because she talks forever, which is like almost 2 hours, by the time it's done, my work day starts. So it really, is there a way for me to meditate? Yes. But I'm very particular about meditation time and when it needs to be and when my brain can process the meditation. So it's really important that I get that time. So right now I'm not getting that time, but thank God the program's almost over. It's been a great program. Don't get me wrong. It's just that it's hard because it's interrupted my flow and I didn't really plan to meditate after, and I should have. Or I should have pulled my schedule back 30 minutes earlier so I could meditate. So that's another thing, right? And journal. Make sure that you are adjusting for these things that you need. I knew that this program was coming up. I could have adjusted my schedule to get the meditation in before I work out or before I come live here with you, right? And I didn't do that because I thought it'll be fine. I'll just meditate after the live training's over, because in my head it was going to be an hour. So I would get ready while I was listening to her training. It would get over at noon. I would meditate, journal, start work at 1, but it doesn't get over at noon. It gets over at 1. And if I exit early, then I've got to now make time in my schedule to go back and listen. It's all fucked up, right? So that's not going to work. So I should have just gotten up earlier, but I didn't. I just said, fuck it. I'm not going to do it. And I'll get back on track later on. So remember to, remember, I don't know why Marcy is sitting here messaging me when I'm literally on this live. Ugh. Do you guys know it annoys me when you do that, team? No, she's gonna get in trouble. Okay. So think about that. I think that's a good lesson for everybody to learn, right? The message that you need to learn is be careful giving more of yourself than what you have to give, because it depletes your reserves. And until you learn how to refill before giving, then you get so depleted that everything gets out of whack. Okay? Yeah, I know. Me too, Jana. Totally jacked it up. Hi, Kellyanne Winfrey. But I was planning for an hour, right? Not 2. After day 2 or 3, we should have realized it was going to be 2 hours, but then it got away from us. Having my children home for school was a major shift in my schedule. I could imagine. So what's funny for me is every year at this time, our household energy and schedule shifts. My schedule doesn't change, but the household energy and schedule shifts. My husband and kids are gone most of the day from about, 9:45 a.m. until 5 p.m. They're out doing the boys' business. I call it the boys' business, but it's really all 3 of their businesses because they can't do it without Daniel. So they're gone all day, doing yard work, doing cleanup, whatever, digging trenches, whatever it is, because they have a business called Dubra Lawn and Mow. But in the winter, I'm so spoiled because I get my breakfast made for me, then I have my lunch, I end up with a snack, and then dinner's at a reasonable time. But in the spring through summer through fall, I usually get breakfast. Well, not really, because my breakfast is at 11. So it's like that jacks everything up. I got to figure everything out. So I'm a little spoiled, and then they're gone all day. They do come back for lunch, which is nice because I get to see their face, but I end up eating late. There's nobody to keep me on track. So I find that when they're not here, for me, because of our household and our dynamic, I actually don't do as well. I don't take as good a care of myself because there's little triggers that happen along the day that remind me of what time of day it is, right? And so then I'm like, oh, I gotta eat. Oh shit, they're still milling around. Have I eaten my lunch? And it usually is sitting on the table or whatever right there. But when they're around, I'm so much better about taking care of myself because it's like this constant reminder. Marcy, every single time you send a message when I'm on live, it covers half my screen. That's why I told you to stop messaging me. And I can't get it to not cover half my screen. So you have to remember when I'm live. Okay, so here we go. You are going to look at the last couple of days and really think about how much more have I given of myself that I didn't have? And how am I going to, in the future, make sure that I'm giving myself more than I give to other people? And so I always say you got to say yes to yourself more than you say yes to other people. And I think that you're not taking that and applying it across the board. Yes may not be yes to a question they're asking you or something they're asking you to do, right? Yes could be taking an action yourself. Like in Latia's example, she wants to be there so much to help people so much that she's saying yes to herself to showing up for them, and that's depleting her. And I don't think until this moment did she realize that, right? It takes from you. If you are helping other people through their shit, it's taking from you. Just always remember that. And even if you're not helping them through their shit, but you're giving them advice and helping lift them up and giving them that energy and that power, it's taking from you. But right now, if you are not giving yourself more mentally and relaxing and that space, than you are to other people, boom, it's going to shoot you right down. Latia says that another realization is that her hubs has been working from home. She's been rearranging her schedule to include him in it. And that was another way of me in my mess. Yeah. I mean, I don't know that I would rearrange my schedule to include my husband in it just because he was home. I would imagine he's working, but maybe not. Maybe he's just walking around bored as fuck. That's sweet of you to do that. I wouldn't do that. I'd be like, dude, my schedule has stayed the same even though you're home, so you need to fucking do something with yourself. But I say that to my family all the time. If they don't have a job and they're home all day, I notice that they forget to not be in and out because like they change, right? So what ends up happening as the summer goes on, if they have a day off, then they forget that they can't just pop in here and fucking talk to me for 32 minutes. And so they'll be in and out and in and out and in and out and in and out. And then I find myself getting really irritated. All three of them will do it. So this one will come in, talk to me for 3.5 to 5 minutes, and then leave. And then 22 minutes later, this one comes in, and half the questions or whatever they're talking about is the same. And then they leave, and then, oh, here come. So I'm like, listen, I know that you have nothing going on today because your schedule is cleared, but my schedule is the same. You guys are interrupting me every like 20 to 30 minutes, and you're making me fucking crazy. So you need to find something to do with yourself, or I'm going to give you guys a whole list of yard work to do. And then they leave me alone, right? So I could do it a lot nicer, don't get me wrong. But by that point, I just don't have that niceness in me. So it's like that blanketed statement. So remember that it's not necessary that you change everything you're doing because your life, your schedule, what you're doing is what it's always been, right? It's everybody else's schedule that's all jacked up, right? Oh, he was working in, what does that say? Let me go over here so I don't have to touch my phone. He was working in PA for the last 3 years, so having him home is a blessing and a curse. I made Mike buy an Xbox so he had something to do. That's hilarious. Tessa says, my daytime used to be my recharge time, even when working. My house was quiet and was recharging for when the boys were home. Now it's only completely quiet from midnight to 6 a.m. Yeah, and especially in your situation with some of the diagnosis of your kids, Tessa, I couldn't imagine. I'd be running away every day. Tear up the house, I don't care. Light it on fire, I don't care. Ugh, it would really be hard. However, you got to do something about it, right? This is your new life. So now it is what it is. We can't live in what was, and we have to create a new plan. Are you going to get help? Can you get help? If you can't get help, what does this look like? What is the new way of life now? Mary said, when we bug my dad, he would offer to pay us 1 cent a weed to pull weeds to get rid of us. I'm not paying these MFers. I pay them in food and housing. They each have a fucking PlayStation. No. We have 3 PlayStations in our house, and every other game system besides a brand new Xbox One, they're paid. They just are going to get their ass kicked if they annoy me. No, they're pretty good though, because right now they're building up on jobs, so they're gone all the time. Like they're going to be leaving any minute now. All right. So look at what you're giving, where you're giving too much of yourself. Sit down and make oh, that's hilarious. Mary, make a plan, right, that works, and make sure that that plan is fluid. If you make a stuck plan, then you're going to make yourself crazy. There's got to be a fluid plan. Shit's going to come up. Shit's going to happen. Days you're not going to feel like working. You're going to be exhausted. You're going to not, whatever. So just keep that in mind, that you want it to be fluid. And so hopefully some of these things that have been holding you back, you guys can shift from. I know I've been live for what seems like forever today. I guess it's only been about 40 minutes, but definitely watch the beginning of this when I get off of here, because you get to see Lula throwing a fit about leaving the room. My piggy pie is going to be the biggest brat, or she was the biggest brat. It was hilarious. So if you need a pick-me-up for today, you get to watch Daniel attempting to get the pig out of here so I could do this live, because she likes to jump on the door when she decides that she wants to eat. In the middle of my live, it scares the shit out of me, and then I have to stop. So watch the beginning part of this replay. It's so freaking funny. Anyway, so I will see you guys back here tomorrow for something. I'm not sure what we're going to talk about tomorrow, but it'll be great. But remember, next week's going to be money mindset and money management just because I just feel connected to that, and that's something that I feel like you guys need. So we are going to rock that out. Remember to say yes to yourself more than you say yes to other people, and that includes giving of yourself, right? Give yourself some grace, right? Through all of this. Remember that some weeks are going to suck. Some weeks are going to be great. Some weeks you're going to be on. Some weeks you're going to be off. Some days are going to be great. Some moments are going to be great. Some hours are going to be great, and some hours are not going to be. Give yourself some grace. All right? And remember, in everything you do, it's about making progress, whether it's little progress or big progress, but it's never about perfection. See you tomorrow.